Night hangs quiet over the patrol ship vigil. Most lights sleep. Most people sleep. Only the soft engines breathe. In engineering, a single human stays awake. His name is Ray. He is an engineer with tired eyes and quick hands. He drinks cold coffee and listens to the small sounds of the ship. Click, hum, tick. It is a normal night and he feels safe. Then the docking alarm blinks once and dies. Ray frowns. No klaxon, no alert. Just a tiny red eye open for one heartbeat and shut again. He looks at the camera feed. Static snow falls across the screen. He taps keys. The static does not move. His chest tightens. The side airlock whispers. Ray walks the empty corridor. The floor lights glow low and blue. The ship feels like it holds its breath. At the airlock, the inner door stands half open, like a mouth that cannot decide to speak. A curl of cool air slides past his cheek. He steps closer. Something stands in the gap. It is tall, it is slim. It moves like water. Silver eyes reflect the corridor lights. Skin looks smooth, almost glass. The figure wears a dark exosuit with soft seams and flowing plates. At the inner thighs of the suit, a curved bulge rests, strange, elegant, and alive. It gives off a slow, gentle pulse like a small animal sleeping. Ray freezes. His mind tries to file the shape under a known file name. Hostile, pirate, guest, ghost, none fit. The alien tilts her head. Her voice is warm and clear. Human. Ray swallows. You are not on the schedule. She smiles with only her eyes. Schedules are for people who like to be late. He tries to speak again, but his words tangle. His eyes flick to the odd bulge. He cannot help it. The thing glows brighter when he looks. The alien notices. She leans a little closer, a playful shine in her gaze. Does the bulge between my legs intrigue you, human? Is that why you act strange? Ray coughs. Heat rises in his face. He lifts his hands in a calm gesture. I am evaluating equipment. It sounds foolish even to him. Good, she says, amused. I like honest eyes. Her gaze slides past him, taking in the corridor, the doors, the vents. The bulge hums and a door down the hall unlocks by itself. A soft green light appears above it. Ray blinks. How did you? A key, she answers, touching the bulge with a fond tap. A living one. The ship's lights flicker once. Somewhere deep in the hull, a small alarm tries to speak and then chooses silence. Ray's stomach drops. Whatever this thing is, it talks to the vigil like an old friend. What do you want? Ray asks. A favor, she says. There is a weapon on your ship, a small seed with a hungry mouth. It will wake soon. Help me find it before your friends wake. Help me and your ship will live. Ray studies her face. Calm, sharp, teasing, yes, but steady. He hears the engine beat again. He thinks of the sleeping crew. He thinks of the quiet of space outside, so easy to break. Name, he says. Sia. I am Ray. Hello, Ray. Sia steps through the door she opened with her living key. The pulse brightens, and cameras along the ceiling blink off like tired eyes. Ray follows. His heart moves fast, but his steps are sure. The corridor grows darker, then lights ahead rise in a slow path, guiding them like stars. Behind them, the airlock door slides shut. The ship whispers to itself. Somewhere deep below, something small wakes and starts to count. Ray keeps 3 steps behind the alien. He watches how she moves. Light bends around her suit like water around a stone. The bulge at her inner thighs pulses slow and soft, as if it has its own calm breath. She does not look back when she speaks. You feel fear. You also feel curiosity. Curiosity is stronger good. Ray says nothing. He grips a small wrench. It is not a weapon, but it is heavy. It makes him feel less empty. They pass the camera dome at the next corner. The red record dot blinks twice, then goes dark. Sia never touches it. The bulge hums low like a cat that speaks in radio. Doors unlock as they walk. Vents close by themselves. The ship shapes a path for them without alarms or voices. Ray sees writing on the wall, Bay 3. He knows this hall. He serviced it this morning. It was normal. Now the floor lights are out of pattern, 2 short bars, 1 long bar, too short again. That is not a ship error. That is a human code, a quiet signal for a secret route. Someone changed the lights. Sia pauses at the pattern, her eyes brighten. Your enemy is tidy. I like tidy enemies. Who is the enemy? Ray asks. A small cartel with large teeth, she says. They want to sell your ship in pieces and sell me in jars. Ray swallows. You said weapon, a phase core seed. She nods. Hungry, patient, stupid, but it learns fast when it eats power. They reach a sealed door. Sia places her palm near the panel. She does not touch it. The bulge opens like a flower, thin petal plates slide apart, showing a heart of pale light and fine, living threads. The threads taste the air. The door unlocks with a soft sigh. Ray stares. Is it part of you? Sia smiles without shame. It is my partner. It does not leave me and I do not leave it. We share breath. We share food. We share choices. Food, Ray echoes. It eats signals, she says, amused, and secrets. Inside the room, the air is colder. Crates stand in neat rows. The ship hum is louder here, like a throat trying not to cough. Sia walks along the crates and stops at one with a painted label, spare pumps. The paint is a perfect match, except Ray can see a tiny drip under the S. The drip dried wrong. The person who painted it did not know the ship's old color code. That means outsider, or a crew member working for outsiders. Sia points to the drip. You noticed. Ship trivia, Ray says, voice small. The old paint had a duller base. We updated last year. This crate is pretending. Sia smiles like a teacher at a brave student. The bulge glows brighter. The lock clicks. Inside the crate sits a metal egg the size of a helmet. It looks asleep. It also looks like it is pretending to be asleep. Sia lowers her voice. Do not touch. Watch the surface. Ray watches. Hair-thin scratches crawl over the egg like frost growing. A number appears for a breath and then is gone. Not human digits. A learning mark. The egg listens to the ship and writes its own new language. Ray's heart climbs his throat. How long? Minutes, maybe less, Sia says. She opens the bulge wider. Filaments slide out like silk and wrap the egg without touching it. A soft sound fills the room, halfway between a bell and a breath. The eggs mark slow. Sia closes her eyes. It is asking for a path to the reactor. It thinks that path is a door to a warm nest. I will show it a fake nest. She guides the living threads over Ray's console bracelet. You make a nest, she says. A human nest. Small, dumb, safe. Give it trash power. Ray works fast. He reroutes dead maintenance coils, builds a loop, gives the egg an easy lie to swallow. The ship's hum evens out. The egg grows lazy. It sleeps. For 1 second, the room feels safe. A light footstep snaps that second in half. Ray and Sia turn together. The door they used is open. A shadow stands there, thin, patient, holding a stunner at hip height. The stunner points at Sia's chest. The shadow steps into the cold light. LT, Mora, security, calm eyes, careful smile. I will need both of you to step away, she says. From the crate and from the pretty key. Sia's bulge dims to a quiet ember. Ray's wrench feels too small. Mora's smile does not reach her eyes. Slow hands, engineer. The camera may be blind, but I am not. She flicks her gaze to Sia. And you try not to purr. Sia tilts her head, playful even now. You admire my partner, sensible. Mora lifts the stunner a touch higher. I admire its price. The egg in the crate twitches, as if smiling in its sleep. Mara does not blink. The stunner stays steady. Ray feels the weight of his wrench. It now feels like a toy. Sia's living key, her strange bulge, glows very faint like a coal that chooses to wait. Step back, Mora says, slow. Ray lifts his hands. He moves 1 step. Sia moves 1 step. Her eyes never leave Mora's face. The egg in the crate makes a tiny sound, like a bubble, like a thought escaping. Mara flicks her gaze to it. You froze it, cute trick. Her smile is empty of warmth. But it will wake, they always wake. Sia's voice is light. You worked with the painters, Lieutenant. The drip gave you away. Mara's cheek twitches, only once. You see too much. I see enough, Sia says. Enough to know you sold your ship to a cheap cartel. Mara shrugs, cheap but fast. She shifts the stunner to Ray. Engineer, turn off your loop, then move away from the alien. Ray's mind runs. If he kills the loop, the egg eats power. If it eats power, it learns the ship. If it learns the ship, everyone dies. Simple math. Bad math. Sia breathes out slow. Mara, I offer a trade. Take me. Leave the ship. Mara laughs once. Oh, I am taking you, and your partner, but the egg is the bonus. Her eyes grow sharp. And the engineer is a witness I do not need. Ray meets Sia's eyes. He expects fear. He sees something else, plan. Sia's voice turns almost lazy. You want the partner, you want the bulge. She taps the pedal plates with 2 fingers. Then learn a rule. It keeps me safe, not you. Mora's jaw tightens. We will cut it out. Try, Sia says, still gentle. A cold second passes. The ship hums. The foam extinguishers sleep in their ceiling nests. The floor is clean. The door is open. The path is narrow. Ray moves. Not fast, not loud, just wrong. He turns his body as if giving up and lets the wrench slip from his hand. It drops. It hits the deck with a ring. Mora's eyes cut to it for a tiny blink. Sia acts in that blink. The living key opens, petals sliding apart in one smooth, silent breath. A line of thin light spills across the floor, not bright but thick. Air bends. The line crawls toward Mora's boots like a snake made of radio. Mora fires. The stun bolt hits the air and bends. It smears along the thick light and slaps the wall to Ray's left. Ozone burns the air. Ray's ears ring. Sia is already moving. She does not run at Mora. She steps past her, hips low, body turned sideways, like water finding a new channel. Mora swings the stunner, but her feet stick for a half-second on the slick line of bent signal. Ray kicks the crate shut. The egg is inside. The loop still hums. He slams the crate lock. It holds for now. Mora tears her boots free and fires again. The bolt scorches the crate's side. The egg twitches. Symbols crawl, then fade. Sia's hand finds Mora's wrist. Gentle. Firm. She does not try to rip the stunner away. She turns the wrist 8 degrees, just enough to break aim, just enough to speak a new rule to nerves and bones. Mora gasps and lets go. The stunner skids. Ray dives and catches it. Cold metal, full charge, his hands shake. Don't, Mora says, breath hard. You won't shoot a crew mate. Ray aims at the floor near her feet. He fires. The bolt explodes into the signal line and turns the floor into a trembling river of light. Mora stumbles, drops to a knee, and curses. Sia steps back, eyes bright. Good aim, Ray. We need a tie, he says. Sia points to a spare cable on the wall. Ray grabs it. They bind Mora's wrists fast and high to a locker ring. Mora does not fight hard. She watches Sia's living key like a starving person watches bread. You think you've won, Mora says. You slowed a nap. That egg is still learning. The ship still hums. The clock still ticks. Ray and Sia glance at the crate. The hum has changed. It is not just the ship now. It is the ship and something inside the ship, 2 beats trying to become one. The loop they built starts to flicker. The egg writes a new symbol on the crate wall through the metal, the mark burned by heat without flame. Sia's smile fades. It found a second path. Where? Ray asks. She listens, eyes closed, head tilted. The living key glows warmer and answers in a soft chord only she seems to fully hear. Sia opens her eyes. Engineering, she says. It is reaching for the FTL heart. Ray's stomach turns cold. Distance. Too close. The emergency lights blink once. The ship whispers a new word on every screen. A word that should never appear. Prime. Ray looks at Sia. Sia looks at Ray. No jokes now. No teasing. Only choice. Run, Sia says. They run. Behind them, the crate breathes like an animal about to wake. In the hall, the floor lights shift to a new pattern. Not human code this time. Something learning to speak. Mora lifts her tied hands and smiles with her mouth, not her eyes. Tick, she says. The ship very softly answers, talk. They fall. Ray hits a maintenance rail, rolls, and slams to the deck of engineering. Pain blooms, he keeps moving. Sia lands like a ribbon turned to steel. The living key opens as she lands, petals sliding, threads catching the air. They do not touch the FTL ring. They touch the space around it, telling space to behave. Above, Mora crouches at the broken grate. 2 drones drop after them, metal wings hissing. Their eyes glow hard and cold. Stay where you are, Mora calls, voice neat. Or do something heroic. I can sell either. Ray ignores her. He runs to the foam lever by the access door. The handle is old, red, and stiff. He yanks. White mist explodes across the bay, thick and cold, filling vents, swallowing sight lines. Mora swears. The drones switch to sonar. Their pings click like angry bats. Sia's threads sing a note too low to be sound. The foam shifts around her, forming a ghost corridor. She can see through it. Ray cannot, but he trusts how the corridor pulls him. The FTL ring hums. 3 status lights beat like 3 clocks out of sync. Red, amber, red, white. The egg's influence ripples through cables, trying to teach the ship a bad song. Mora fires into the foam. Stun bolts paint blue scars that bend a few degrees when they enter Sia's field. Not a shield. Not safe. Just leaking aim. A bolt kisses Ray's sleeve and leaves his arm numb to the elbow. Left, Sia calls. Ray dives left. A bolt takes the air where his head was. He rolls, breath short. The floor is slick with foam and condensate. He slides under a pipe and pops beside the manual bleed valve for coolant. He smacks it open. Silver fog roars into the air, mixing with the foam. Sensors choke. The drones chirp in panic as their range maps go blind. Ray, Sia's voice is quick, warm, steady. The egg reads the FTL as a throat. We must teach it a cough. Cough, he says, coughing. A sharp, ugly push that sends hungry things out. Ray grins despite fear. We make it think the waste vent is a sneeze. Yes, Sia says, and his grin becomes plan. She flings threads in 3 quick lines. They stick to empty space near the FTL ring and hum, shaping a false mouth. Ray races to the servo panel and rips the cover with bloody knuckles. He crosses 2 dead circuits and lies to a 3rd, making a fake thruster that only exists on paper and prayer. Map it, he says. Sia draws a floating glyph in the air with her threads, curves and angles that make his skin prickle. Push here, she says. Push loud. Ray slams power into the junk loop. The bay lights brown out, then flare. The FTL ring shivers like a horse trying to shake off flies. The egg feels the movement and turns its hunger that way. Come on, Ray whispers. Like trash day, come on. Mora leaps from the catwalk, lands in a 3-point crouch and rises through the foam like a storybook wolf. Turn it off, she says, gun following Sia, or I shoot your partner's mind. Sia smiles even now. You think it sits in my head? No, it sits in choice. Mara shoots at the floating glyph. Sia is faster. She flicks 2 threads. The bolt splits on contact, one branch spending itself on a pipe, the other burning a black kiss into the deck at Ray's boot. Heat licks his ankle. He hops, swears, breathes, keeps working. A drone finds them. It plunges through foam, stinger arms open. Ray hurls his empty stunner at its eye. The throw is bad. The drone dodges and hits Sia's warp line hanging in the air. For a heartbeat, it slides sideways against nothing. Its aim tilts. Its stinger kisses the FTL housing and shorts with a scream. The drone pops like a broken firecracker and drops, twitching. Nice line, Ray pants. Nice throw, Sia returns polite lie. The FTL ring groans. The egg thrashes inside the ship systems. It is close to learning the real path. Red lights run white, then dark, then white again. The ship whispers on every display, PR, 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 like a child trying to say a forbidden word. Now Sia says, we need the vent. Ray sprints to the vent control wheel. A metal cover locks it. Captain's gene key required, the screen says. Ray's throat goes dry. It's locked, he says. Sia's eyes warm with a dangerous idea. I can borrow a key, she says, voice soft, but I must taste it. How, Ray asks. She tilts her head toward the ceiling speaker. Your captain's voice, consent, a word is a bridge. The living key opens wide, petals fan, threads glowing like veins. Call her. Ray hits shipwide. Captain, emergency unlock, say permit biocopy. Now. Static, then a sleepy voice, shaped by years of command and a very bad night. Ray, what? Say it, Ray pleads, or we fold wrong and die. A beat, a choice. Then permit biocopy, the captain says, clear and strong. Sia presses the living key to the speaker grill. A soft chord answers, like a choir behind a wall. The vent lock blinks from red to green. Thank you, Sia whispers to the sailing sincere. Mora lifts her gun again. Open it and the core leaves, she says, angry for the first time. And my buyers leave me. Correct, Ray says and spins the wheel. The vent yawns like a long throat to cold space. The FTL ring bucks as the egg feels the new path. It sends a tendril of will to block it. Push, Sia says. Ray throws everything at the junk thruster. Dirty power, coil noise, heartbeat ticks from his bracelet. The bay shakes. The foam storms. The egg lunges for the fake path, tastes the vent instead and leaps. For a breath, all sound goes thin. The egg, dark, slick, hungry, shoots through the waste channel, wrapped in Sia's threads like a pearl in fast water. Mora screams, a raw, cut-off sound, and fires wildly. Bolts carve blue claws in the mist. One kisses Sia's shoulder. She stumbles. The living key flares to shield the wound, then dims. The bay lights come back one by one. Red dies, white steadies. Ray staggers to Sia. Stay with me. I am here, she says, voice small but steady. She smiles, tired. You sneeze very well. He laughs once, half a sob. Teamwork. Above them, the vent indicator shows a tiny dot moving toward the void. The dot hesitates, as if the egg thinks about turning back. Sia's threads tremble. Go, Ray whispers. Go, go, go. The dot crosses the line and disappears into black. Silence floods the bay. Then the ship breathes. A low, relieved exhale through pipes and plates. The panels clear. The bad word prime vanishes. Mora stands very still. Her gun lowers by an inch, then another. Her face is blank, like a screen after failed input. Sia presses a hand over her shoulder wound. The living key closes, purring like a tired cat. She looks at Ray, eyes bright with pain and pride. Now comes the part, she says softly, where humans decide what to do with traitors. Ray meets her gaze. He picks up a real tool this time, a manual clamp from the wall. His hands stop shaking. First, he says, we make sure the ship lives 5 more minutes. Then, Sia asks. Then, Ray says and glances at Mora, we talk about exits. From the far side of engineering, a small light blinks, an incoming dock request. Another ship knocks at their door. The bay is quiet but not safe. Foam slides off pipes in slow white tears. Panels are clean. Prime is gone. The ship breathes like a chest after a hard run. A new light blinks on the wall. Dock request. Outer ring / port 2. Ray and Sia look at it. Then they look at Mora. Mora stands very still. Her gun points at the deck now. Her face is blank in a careful way, like a mask that has learned not to twitch. That is mine, she says. Buyers, Ray asks. Mora nods once. They think they are on time. Sia touches her shoulder wound. The living key purrs against the burn, closing its petals like a shell for a breath, then opening again. She studies the dock code on the panel, her eyes narrow. "Resupply tag," she says, "but the scent is wrong." Ray blinks, "Scent." "Every ship leaves a taste in the net," Sia says softly. "Noise, heat, delay. This one tastes like a copy." Mora smiles with only her mouth. They learn fast. Ray steps to the comm. "Bridge, this is engineering. Hold all autodock. Manual only." No one answers. He tries again. Static hisses, then a half-asleep officer mumbles and hangs. Sia leans close. Her voice is low, warm, fast. "We have one door they will try to use, port 2. We give it 2 locks. One they expect, one they do not." Ray nods. "Human lock, alien lock." "Yes." They move like they have done this forever. Ray clamps Mora's wrists to a rail with a manual collar and a torque key. Metal bites metal. This time he tests it twice. "If you chew out, I will be impressed," he says. Mora tilts her head. "I did not chew the last one," she says, mild. "I used the wall screw." Ray turns and sees it, a little shiny circle where a screw had been. He swears under his breath. "Noted." Sia's threads drift to the dock panel. The living key opens a palm wide and whispers a note. Ports across the ship blink. Port 2 stays lit. Everything else goes dark. One path, one trap. "Lock 1, Sia says. She paints a fake welcome in the port's handshake. Slow doors, old motors, sleepy guards. They will relax. "Lock 2, Ray says. He pulls a manual bypass card from a lanyard under his shirt, old tech with a bent edge and oil stains. He slides it into a dead slot. The light refuses, then yields with a tiny click that feels like a memory. He grins. We reroute port 2 into the garbage ring. They dock, they step, they find a very sad room. "Sad and small," Sia says, pleased, "with a door to the outside." Ray opens an old maintenance menu. It is ugly and text-only. It does not know about fancy eggs or smart thieves. He points the port's inner door to a service choke that vents to a drone ejection tube. He sets a timer with no label. Sia listens to the incoming ship again. She goes very still. "They are pinging for bios," she says. "They want my kind." Mora's eyes brighten. "They will pay extra if they hear you breathe." Sia looks at Ray. The playfulness in her face is there, but under it is steel. "I can sing them a wrong song." "Do it." She opens the living key and lets out a soft chime. It is beautiful and lonely. It travels through the port net like a star reflected in dirty water. The incoming ship replies at once. A cold, greedy ping, fast and sharp, too hungry. Ray watches the timer. 30 seconds, 25. He taps a line into the choke's control. Pressure drop, hold on MY mark. He pulls a manual lever halfway and it sticks like old gum. "Come on," he whispers. "Don't be proud now." A second drone, the one that did not die, clicks awake behind them. Its eye turns bright. It pivots towards Sia's open threads like a moth to heat. Ray spins, down. Sia does not duck. She reaches. 2 threads flick like lashes. They do not strike the drone. They strike the air before it, thickening it, sliding it an inch left. The drone surges, misses, and rams a pipe. Sparks spit. It claws free, angry. Mora laughs softly. "You cannot hold 2 fights in one door." "Watch," Ray says. He throws his body at the drone. Not brave, just necessary. The stinger grazes his vest and floods his chest with ice. He cannot feel his left side. He uses the right to jam a manual clamp into the drone's wing hinge. Metal screeches. The hinge locks. The drone spins in place like a trapped beetle. "Mark," Sia asks. Ray sucks air through numb lips. "Mark in 8. The dock panel chimes. Hard seal latches on port 2. The incoming ship does not call. It does not say hello. It just pushes. The seal groans. 7. Sia feeds the fake welcome. Her voice is honey. Doors slow, guards asleep, all yours. 6. Mara shifts her weight, testing the clamp. It holds. Her eyes move, counting with him. 5-4. Sia's eyes meet Ray's. They talk without words. 3. The choke door to the garbage ring unlocks. No sound, just a tiny, guilty green. 2. The drone bucks. The clamp slips a hair. It screams in a way machines should not. 1. Ray slams the lever down. The ship coughs. Not a boom, not a roar. A deep, fast suck as the service choke drops pressure and the inner door lies open for one sweet, evil second. On the other side of that one door, 3 figures step from the buyer ship in slick suits. They expect guards. They expect a cargo bay. They get a gray tube with stars at the far end and a wind that pulls. 2 grab rails. One misses. He slides, arms windmilling, hits the far hatch and sees open space beyond. His suit seals. His tether does not. He is gone, a small, dark seed thrown to night. The other 2 scream in a language Ray does not know. They slam the door. The seal holds. The dock breaks with an ugly wrench. The buyer ship withdraws, bleeding anger in radio. Silence returns in pieces. Ray leans on the lever, shaking. Feeling returns to his left side in hot pins. He winces and laughs at the same time. Garbage ring, he says. Romance. Sia breathes out, soft. The living key purrs and dims. 2 locks, she says. 1 door, good trick. Mora stops smiling. Her eyes have a new thing in them now. Not anger, fear. Overhead, the ship's main speakers crackle. A clear voice, now fully awake, the captain. Engineering, she says. Status. Ray hits the comm. Alive, he says. Ship is safe. Enemy dock repelled. The captain's voice warms only a little. Good work. Security teams are on the way. Keep our guests safe. Sia arches a brow at guest. She leans toward Ray, voice low, almost teasing again. Your captain is interesting. She will like you, Ray says, then adds, honest, after paperwork. The dock panel pings one last time. A tiny echo returns from outside, faint, like a pebble in deep water. Sia turns her head as if listening to the dark. What? Ray asks. The egg, she says. It is not dead. It learned one last trick while it flew. Ray's mouth goes dry. What trick? It can call, Sia says. Small, quiet to others like it. The lights don't dim. The alarms don't scream. The ship stays calm. But far out beyond the hull, 3 new dots wake on passive sensors, like cold stars opening their eyes. Silence hangs for one breath. Then the new dots wink again on the passive board, far, faint, patient. Ray and Sia stand very close without noticing. Foam slumps from pipes. The ship's hum is calm now, but the calm feels thin, like ice on a dark pond. Mora watches them. Her wrists are ironed to the rail. Fear sits in her eyes like a new color she does not like. The captain's voice stays on the line. Engineering, report any new motion. Ray answers steady. 3 contacts, no drive wash, no hail. Sia's living key opens a little curious. It tastes the air through the wire. Not ships, she says, soft. Not yet. Ray swallows. Eggs. Fragments, Sia says. Pieces that heard the call. Mora finds her smile again, thin and mean. You threw one out, it invited friends. Sia tilts her head, thoughtful, playful, gone for now. Small friends, they cannot dock alone, she looks at Ray, but they can attach if we let them. Ray nods, mind working. Glue to hull, drink heat, learn ports, open doors. He looks at the vent graph. The waistline still yawns like a quiet throat to space. Sia reads his face. Yes, she says, we use the same cough. The captain speaks in that calm way that turns panic into tasks. Engineering, recommend. Ray breathes. He keeps it simple. Hold general calm. Lock outer rings. Spin a cold shell around the hull, no heat to chew. Then vent a fake warmth out of the waistline like crumbs to a trap. Approved, the captain says at once. Do it. Ray and Sia move like one mind with two toolboxes. Ray shuts down non-essentials, corridor warmers, vanity lights, gym vents. The ship cools by one small, rude degree. He routes a tiny line of junk power to the waste channel and shapes it as a pulse. Warmth, then not, warmth, then not, like bread smells drifting from a door that is never fully open. Sia's key hums a strange, kind note. Threads ink symbols over the vent control, decorating Ray's crude work with quiet grace. We make it smell like a new nest, she murmurs, but one that slides. Outside, the three dots shift, cautious as foxes. They nose near the hull, feel emptiness, and turn toward the crumb trail. They drift into the waste line, slow and eager. Mora hisses between her teeth. You learned from them. Sia glances at her, eyes gentle. Everyone learns, even you. Mara looks away. Ray opens the vent a slice. A soft sigh moves through the ship. The crumbs flow. The fragments follow, tiny and stubborn. Sia's threads tremble at the threshold, listening. Now, she says. Ray cuts the crumbs and snaps the vent full. Space licks everything clean. 3 small grains flash once in the dark and are gone. The passive board goes blank. The ship breathes out. People in far bunks will later say they dreamed of winter air and old snow. They will not know why. Ray leans against a pipe, tired and grinning. Cold shell, he says. Ugly trick. Beautiful, Sia says, and she means it. The living key closes with a satisfied purr. Boots clatter in the hall. Security teams flood engineering, visors up, eyes wide. They take in foam, scorch marks, broken drone, tied traitor, tired engineer, wounded alien with a glow at her thighs. The picture is strange. It also looks like survival. The captain steps in last. Short, gray at the temples, voice that can stop a storm. She sees Sia and Ray. She sees Mora. She sees the panels. She does not smile. She nods once. Report complete, she says. Ray gives the short version. Egg, loop, traitor, vent, buyers, fragments. He keeps adjectives out. He keeps the pride in. The captain listens. When he finishes, she turns to Sia. You came without hail. You saved my ship. Both are true. Sia bows a little with her eyes. Both are fun, she says. The captain almost smiles. Almost. My crew owes you thanks, she says. My rules owe you questions. Sia taps the living key, amused. I enjoy questions. The captain looks to Mora. Security tightens the clamp. Mora lifts her chin. You are late, she says to the captain, like an insult that tried to be small. The captain's voice stays even. I am right on time. Lieutenant Mora, you are relieved of duty. She nods at the team. Hold her. No air, no network, no metal small enough to swallow. Mora breathes in, breathes out. Her mask cracks for 1 second. She looks at Ray. You were boring, she says. You became loud. Ray shrugs. Humans, he says. They take Mora away. Silence sits again, but it is a good silence. The kind that comes after work that mattered. Ray turns to Sia. So, he says simple, coffee. Sia tilts her head and the playfulness returns like sunrise. Coffee first, she agrees. Then you show me the stars you keep in your trash chutes. He laughs, deal. The captain raises a brow. After med scans, she says, and after debrief, she studies Sia. Guest, if you choose, you may walk this ship under watch. You may also leave now. Consent matters. Sia touches the living key. It glows soft. I will stay, she says. For questions, for coffee, for a human who throws tools like ideas. Ray's ears go warm. He pretends to check a gauge. A small chime interrupts them. The dock board blinks again. Not port 2, not any port. A ghost request whispers from the dark. No seal code, no ship name, just a shape in the net like a hand pressed to glass. It is not cartel. It is not egg. It tastes like nothing Sia has met. Her face changes, not fear, attention. What is it? Ray asks. Sia's voice is soft. Something that heard me sing, she says. Not hungry, not greedy, curious. The captain folds her arms. Friend or problem? Sia smiles slow. Both, I hope. Ray looks at the display. The hand shape does not push. It waits polite at the edge of range, like a neighbor at your fence in the night. He looks at Sia, she looks at him. Consent, she says, echoing the word from before. Ray nods. He opens a listen-only line. No door, no heat, no welcome, just ears. The line fills with a sound like far rain on glass, and a voice that is not a voice says, very quietly, "Human key, we saw your cough teach us to breathe." The captain glances between them. "You too," she says, dry, "just volunteered for a new problem." Ray grins. "We're good with problems." Sia's living key hums, pleased, especially the interesting kind. The camera pulls back. The vigil turns in black space, quiet, alive, stubborn. Inside, humans move and argue and make plans. In engineering, an alien and a human stand shoulder to shoulder, both tired, both smiling, both curious. Beyond the hull, something waits and listens. End of episode. Next, how to teach a star to breathe.